Chronic pain can oftentimes feel all-consuming. It's almost like the pain and stress puts the blinders on, and many people with chronic pain can become so focused on the pain that they are no longer fully aware of what is happening outside of their pain. The pain and the stress in their lives trap their mind in a sense, locking it onto the pain. And the simple things in life, the little things that bring pleasure or displeasure, may be overlooked or not even acknowledged in awareness. As we have been learning, usually the process of judging something as pleasant or unpleasant, good or bad, happens automatically. And without this awareness, we are swept away in a sea of emotions and thoughts that go along with that first judgment. So intentionally bringing awareness to the mind, classifying something as pleasant, takes practice. Starting this week, we are inviting you to reflect on pleasant or unpleasant experiences. You may log these experiences in your home practice log, including, as closely as possible in time to any logged experience, the thoughts, feelings, and body sensations that accompanied this experience. This exercise is intended to guide your attention toward a different awareness of pleasant and unpleasant experiences, no matter how big or small. Those things that bring a smile to your face, warm your heart, bring you some sense of gladness. Bringing our awareness to pleasant or unpleasant experiences, however, is sometimes enough to break the stress-pain cycle. Mindful awareness is a radically different response from our typical way of relating to experience, which might be 1. Numbing ourselves, daydreaming, or spacing out in one form or another. Although our bodies may be in a given situation, our minds are off someplace else or in some other time entirely. 2. Holding on, craving, and wanting things or experiences to stay the same and last forever, not allowing ourselves to be with experience in the moment and then to let go without resistance as the experience naturally passes, or perhaps wanting some experience other than what is present. 3. Fighting our direct experience, resisting, avoiding, or wanting it to go away or be different in some way as we don't like it and do not want it to be here. This is a general theme that many of us have likely encountered. What we are learning in this program is how to catch ourselves earlier and earlier when we fall into these ways of relating to experience. And the first step is always awareness. With awareness comes choice. With awareness, we have the power to choose how to respond rather than react with these pre-programmed, unhelpful habits. The key to stepping out of this cycle is awareness. With awareness, we won't get automatically swept away in a sea of thoughts and emotions that usually closely follow initial judgments of pleasant, unpleasant, and ensuing attachment and aversion. With awareness, we are simply present with these judgments, holding them in awareness, and then mindfully choosing what, if any action, we may wish to respond with. With mindful awareness, we learn to savor pleasant experiences as they are happening without feeling an overwhelming sadness when they shift. And when unpleasant experiences arise, we won't get swallowed up in them, as we know those too shall pass. As you begin this exercise, you may notice how it can be difficult to distinguish between thoughts and emotions. One way to think of it is that emotions can usually be described in one word, whereas thoughts take more than one word to describe. It can be helpful to write down thoughts as though they were spoken out loud. Explore and describe the emotions and feelings in the body that arise with as much detail as possible. This helps you to really closely examine how you are relating to the pleasant, unpleasant experience. As you begin this exercise, you may also notice how changes in emotion and body and thoughts spin off the initial judgment of something being either pleasant or unpleasant. This is useful to notice as we can use these changes as portals into deeper awareness of how we are responding to experience. Usually we are not aware of the subtle messages our body is sending us while lowering or raising our stress pain thermometer. For pleasant experiences, a common experience for people living with chronic pain who do this exercise is that they often say they are surprised to find there actually is something pleasant, no matter how big or small, that can be noticed and treasured each and every day, even if that something pleasant is only one dimension of something larger that might be a mix of experiences. Usually, it is as though the pain and the stress and the depressed or irritable mood that often goes along with pain take over, and we can't see past the pain, and pleasant moments go overlooked, unregistered in the pain landscape. Something else to experiment with in doing this exercise is to pay particular attention when the pleasant event may be finishing. Do you have a sense of attachment to the pleasant thoughts, feelings, and sensations? Wanting them to last? Stay the same? Perhaps you can also notice how this might be closely followed by aversion when it ends or changes, and along with this, a desire for things to be different from how they are. And then attachment again when something else pleasant comes up, and then aversion all over again when that too does not last, over and over again, creating a vicious cycle. For unpleasant experiences, you may begin to recognize unique warning systems that are in place in your body when aversion arises, sending early messages that stress and pain are threatening to take over. Often, however, we do not notice these early messages from the body until they reach a screaming volume, and we are in the throes of a pain flare-up, and they are, at that point, then demanding our attention. Even at that point, though, remember from session 1 how the thought and feeling centers of the brain are also sending signals back toward the body and have the power to influence or change the volume of our perceptions regarding body sensations. It is never too late to catch ourselves.